Hi everybody, welcome back to the Drunken Bull Ranch. I'm Reed. So, how to say this? This is the place where the points don't matter and the trophies is 3 meals a day on the table. Now, we had an experience last night that I'm going to tell you about. Oh, get down, Pop. Anyway, but I just got home from work, so I've got my Dr. Pepper. And now I'll tell you all about it. So, last night, it was about 9:30. These 4 dogs, these guys, if I can get them all in the same spot, there we go. They started going nutty. They were barking and running around and making all kinds of racket, so I came out to see what was going on, and they were out there in the field, out there. And I had watched them run past the chicken coop and head out to the field, and they were right here in a bunch of crap. Anyway, what I found was that they had 3 skunks. And the skunks were right here by the chicken coop, so I assumed they were trying to get into the chickens. So the dogs got their trophy last night. They got quite the feeding, and yeah, we didn't lose any chickens because of the dogs, so I was pretty happy about that. Anyway, figured I'd show you a little bit of what I'm doing here. Oh, so I'm just gathering the eggs. Let's see. Looks like we got 3 in here. In here. Yeah, so having the dogs around really panned out last night. Let me extend this just a little bit if I can. There we go. Anyway, I am just gonna get the chickens fed. Give me just half a second. Now, like I said, I've been home for a few minutes, and I actually let the dogs out and let the chickens out, but I'm gonna go ahead and feed them. Now, I know I've shown you this before, but this is what I'm feeding the chickens. Right there. That is what is known as lane mash at my local feed store. And I buy it by the barrel, in case anybody forgot. And it's pretty good stuff. We haven't had our chickens quit laying or anything like that. Excuse me. And it actually is the same as the hog mash. So it feeds both animals, the chickens and the pigs. Now, I mentioned this before, but I put the bucket lids on top just to keep the chickens from getting in there and pooping and doing everything like that. Let me rotate you guys again. I really need a cameraman. So yeah, anyway, as I was saying, the dogs earned their keep last night. And there's a, I say this, there is a no longer living skunk out in the field that I'm going to have to bury at some point. Not to toot my own bugle, but it was a pretty good shot. Anyway, yeah, he's out there I can see him, but I'm not gonna take you out there and show you that. That's just kind of nasty. Anyway, give me just a minute and we'll continue with the chicken feed. I got something else I want to show you. And I got to run the eggs in the house. Okay, so what I was going to show you is this. These are Barley Sprouts. We have the little trays that we grow in the house, and chickens love them. Now, as you can see, they're going to town on that. So, all that is just barley seed that you soak it, and then you put it in trays and you rinse it twice a day. And it sprouts, and the chickens really love it. And I like it because it gives them something fresh in the wintertime. I mean, right now we're kind of early spring, but we pretty much do that anytime that we want to give them something fresh to eat. And it takes about a 7-day cycle to grow it, but it does pretty good. And as you can see, they go to town on it. So I'm considering doing it on a larger scale. But while we're right here, I'm gonna get a bucket of feed for the pigs. Not that one, that's my water bucket for the dogs. Like I said, this is lean mash or hog mash, whichever you want to call it. If I remember correctly, it's 18% protein. And yeah, it's kind of funny when you go to the feed store, it all comes out of the same truck, whether you call it hog mash or chicken mash or lean mash, it all comes out of the same truck, and it's all the same price. So works out pretty good. You only have to get one thing. Anyway, I'm just walking out here to the nasty old pig pen. It's actually drying out some. I'd like to get these guys out on pasture, but I haven't had a chance to do it. And honestly, there's not much growing out there. So I don't even know that they'd find anything to munch on. Technically, I'm sure they would, but yeah. So here we go. Hi, Red. So once again, we got Mr. Pig, Red, and Spot. Look out! Look out! Look out! Oh, you'll be a pain, aren't you? I'll let you guys get too close. These guys like you to dump it on the head. There we go. Anyway, they can be entertainment. Now the other thing that I'm doing for the pigs is over here. I've got pallets of pears, so I'm opening up cans of pears and feeding them those. Some of you might remember this from one of my other videos. This is the can opener. Hey, Pops. So they get 3 scoops of mash, and then 3 of those gallon cans of Pears is what they're eating tonight. Some of you may ask why I'm not petting the dogs. They smell like skunk. That's why I'm not petting the dogs. Anyway, so yeah, that pretty much sums up my evening chores right now. I do need to feed the dogs, but and like I said, they earned their keep last night. They kept the chickens alive. Now, when I get home early enough, I like to open up the coop, let the chickens out. I let the dogs run at that point. Now, if I get home after dark, there's no point in opening it up and letting the chickens out. But I let the dogs run either way. And that's basically what happened last night is I let them out and they found the skunk before the skunk could get into the chicken coop. Now, this chicken coop is built kind of like a fortress, so I'm not worried about a skunk getting into it, but I don't really want them around either. You know, everything has its place, but not in my chicken coop. Anyway, so yeah, kind of an eventful evening. I gotta go dig a hole, bury a skunk, but other than that, pretty good day. So as always, support your local farmers. Have a wonderful day. I'll get back in the swing of things and making videos now that it's springtime. My last video, I wasn't all that impressed with it, so I don't expect you guys to be. But I have another field over yonder that I got to get taken care of and get planted. So we'll do a much more in-depth video on that. So there you have it. And like I said, support your local farmers. Have a one other thing. We should have chickens on the way soon, our broiler chickens, so we'll get them back out in the pasture. Also, I'm trying to find some cattle. It's looking like I might end up with some Jersey bull calves or steers, just because the cost of Angus is so high right now. Anyway, we'll see how that goes, and I'm thinking we'll probably raise the Jerseys to get the funding to buy the Angus. Not that I think it's any better or any worse, but people like it. So, we'll talk at you later. Bye-bye.